Yes. Hello.
Hey,
Hello,
everybody. I love the hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
How you
you bring
doing?
out your Fonzie.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know why I went Italian.
Hey.
Well, I guess Fonzie's Italian.
It is fun.
Yeah.
The fun.
Man, I got a question. So I had a flat white this morning, and
Oh.
I didn't. It got cold. I
Okay.
reheated it in the microwave. Is that okay? Like, can you reheat milk twice,
Yes.
or is that gonna just destroy my gut?
No.
Like, am I gonna run to the bathroom in like 5 minutes here and during the middle of the show?
Likely,
I mean, there's
but
a 50-50 chance.
Okay.
yeah, likely, but you can reheat it. It should be fine.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know if it
Is it
tastes
supposed
like
to
shit.
be chunky?
Yes, that's the protein.
Yes, that's...
All right.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. If there's hair in it as well, don't worry about it.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
That flat white's, it's still pretty tasty.
Stream just goes dead.
Um,
You just hear
yeah.
like diarrhea sounds. Like, oh shit,
You're just gonna.
Drew, you left your mic
Yeah.
on.
Drew, no,
You guys
no,
need
no.
to hear this. It's epic.
Not the
No.
sink, Drew, not the sink.
No.
we don't. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's pretty reminiscent of Bridesmaids, which we're gonna get
Yes.
into. But I'm gonna intro the show right now because this is Trailer Talk, where we basically nerd out and watch trailers and discuss them. What we're gonna do, we're gonna react, we're gonna watch, we're gonna react, then we're gonna discuss. That's kind of how the show works. And in the meantime, we probably go off on tangents and stuff like that, like flat whites that make you go poo.
Yeah.
Why we do this? We just love trailers, and we kind of are adjacent to the industry, so we kind of feel like we have a kind of somewhat clause to talk about these things. Plus, we just like to. We're going to talk about them anyway. Might as well make a podcast about it.
Truth. We like to
Today
gab.
we are going. Yeah, we do like to gab. We're gabbers. Today we're going to watch two trailers. We're going to watch Joyride. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but
I have not.
man, it's pretty awesome. And we're gonna watch Mrs. Davis, another trailer that is a TV show by writers Damon Lindelof from famous from Lost and The Watchmen, Leftovers.
Oh,
Wait, which
and
part of
Joyride.
Lost? This is important.
yes.
Because if it was anything after a certain season, don't care.
I think all of it. I wouldn't
Oh,
say. I
that's
think
upsetting.
it was a
All right,
writer.
well,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I need to go back and watch that. I need to know, like, because in the moment I was kind of like, yeah, disappointed, kind of like Game of Thrones, right? Kind of like,
Yeah.
disappointed. But I wonder if I went back and watched it, because it's been what 10, 15 years.
Yeah. Something like that.
I wonder if I'd feel the same. Just
Probably. Maybe worse. Because you already know how it ends.
Maybe
so you're
worse.
just kind
well,
of
but
like,
knowing I know how it ends, and I watch it through with that context, does it change
Maybe.
it? Maybe a little bit. I don't know.
I don't know.
It was like one of those first shows where we sort of like, you know what though, like we were justified. It was a good ride, and that's all that matters. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it's
we all
true,
kind of
it's
like
true.
we had that like mental
Yeah.
justification in our minds that we wasted 7 years of our lives watching the
Yeah.
show, just to come up with like, yeah, they were dead. Spoiler.
What?
Yeah. Speaking of dead, sad news. Did you guys hear Lance Reddick passed away?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's Reddick. I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, he was such a great actor.
Right?
I loved him. Like, I loved him in, like, most recently, obviously, John Wick, and I believe he was also in Horizon Zero Dawn. And he's in a lot of video games. Destiny 2. Did everybody see the Destiny 2 tributes?
No.
No.
He's
the one.
He's like an
Okay.
NPC. He's like a guardian that I presume that you are a Titan, I think, that you can go and get like missions and stuff from. And people went to him in the game and they knelt down, and there was like a whole on
Oh,
Destiny
that's
2
cool.
like Discords and like the internet for Destiny 2. They were all
Yeah.
like paying homage, and that was really sweet.
Yeah, he had that voice. He had a great voice. Like it was so. It's one of those where you recognize it. It's sort of like
Yeah.
like a Nolan or somebody, like where you're just like you hear it and you're like, oh my god,
just know.
that's Riddick. Yeah, because he was in like what did I watch? Castlevania. Did you guys watch that on Netflix?
I
that
did.
anime?
Yes.
He was in that, and I was like, holy shit, it's Lance Reddick. You know, like right away, I'm like,
Yeah.
he's like one of those guys. Like I fell in love with him on Fringe. I don't know if you guys ever watched.
I haven't seen it now.
J.J. Abrams After Lost show.
Cool.
It was cool. It's like a sci-fi mystery murder of the week kind of show that went on quite a while, and it went into like alternate universes and stuff before even alternate universes were like mainstream now. It was a pretty cool show, and he was a regular on it. And I loved him in that, and then it kind of became one of those things, like no matter what, if he was in a movie or a show, even if the trailer was like, that trailer's kind of garbage. Oh, Lance Reddick's in it. Let's go watch that. Like it became like that. Like the moment you saw that he was in a movie or in a show, it kind of made it okay to watch. Like you kind of like got excited about it a little bit. I don't know what his gravitas brought to it, but it just was like, boom. Like I don't know.
It was super impactful. I think like he just made a really big impact on the industry, and then specifically if you're a gamer, and then that anytime you heard him in a game, you're like, it's that guy. I love him. And then obviously he was in the John Wick films, and I fucking loved him, and I thought he was really good. So yeah, heartbreaking news. As far as I know, though, it was like, I believe they released a statement to say that it was natural causes. I don't know. I don't quite know what that means. Like, does that mean like a heart attack? I don't know. Yeah, but super sad.
It's pretty ambiguous. It seems kind of strange, right? You kind of want to know, but at the same time, it's not really our business. But
true. But just really sad. Like I kind of.
Yeah.
I just hope there wasn't any sort of like long form illness, because that sucks. Like,
Oh, I know. Right? Like if we find out it's another Chadwick Boseman, where you're like, you had cancer for 10 years and you just didn't
never knew.
You're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, dude. Insane. But our hearts go out to his family and his friends, and I mean everybody. I never met him. Unfortunately, never had the chance to, but I'm sure he did. He was in he's credited with like 105 film credits. So
just incredible.
Definitely touched a lot of people in the industry. So I think that'll be kind of felt throughout. Not to bring this thing down on a sad note. Thanks, EJ, dropping some soup. Upgraded to Soup Spud membership. Bam.
Nice.
Dude, buddy, EJ, if you're not, email members at CouchSoup.com, and we'll get you hooked up so you can go on the website and get access to our community circle now that you've upgraded to Soup Spud, and you can come hang out in there, and we have discussions in there, and we post a lot of goodies, and it's fun. So come join. And the rest of you guys, if you're watching right now. Yeah, we have a good time. It's a lot of fun. And you get to support this show, so that's always fun, too. Brandy, love Fringe. Hell yeah, dude. We should do a podcast, Fringe rewatch podcast.
Ooh, yeah. I've also heard The Wire is pretty good. He was in The Wire, right?
Oh,
I've never seen that, and I've heard that's excellent.
It's amazing.
We don't watch it.
Dude, yeah, it's incredible. It's one of those shows, God, it's been a long time since I watched it, but it's one of those shows that you're watching it, and you don't quite realize how good it is until you're sort of like engrossed in it, and you're like, and the farther it goes, it just gets like, it's like one of those shows that just gets better and better and better and better. Like it's just, it's like, it's kind of insane. The cast, I think like the people that came out of that, like everyone went on to be like insane stars.
I think Idris Elba was in it, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I'm blanking because
quite a few people in that, but I've never seen it. Actually.
Yeah, it's a huge ensemble because it kind of follows I want to say Detroit, or no, I'm blanking. It's not Detroit. It's
I can find it.
What city? Man. Anyway,
is it
but
Chicago?
It follows like
I don't know. Actually, I was just randomly guessing there.
It'll come to me, but it follows like this police squad, like narcotic squad, going after like. But you get both sides.
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
The Baltimore drug scene. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Baltimore, Maine. Yeah, and it follows like you see both sides. You see like the drug side, the drug dealer side, and like from the ground, like people that are like low level, all the way to kind of like the high, and you get to see like the police side, so like the cops and how they kind of interact and how that all goes down. It's pretty incredible show.
Nice.
I think if you ever ask anybody like, hey, top 10 TV shows of all time, like The Wire is always in that list. I think for a lot of people, a lot of pundits anyway.
Sick.
I think I'm way over on time.
Sorry.
No, I got excited, and I wanted to talk about Lance because, man, that guy is pretty dope.
Yeah.
But let's jump into our first trailer, Joyride. So this trailer came out like a few days ago. Okay. I'll give you a quick rundown. It's from the producers of Neighbors and the co-screenwriter of Crazy Rich Asians, which is interesting.
Okay.
Joyride stars Ashley Park, Sherry Cola, and Oscar nominee Stephanie Hsu, and Sabrina Wu, and it's directed by Adele Lim. I don't want to give you any more than that because I kind of want to watch everyone to kind of watch this trailer. It's kind of bonkers, and I'm here for it.
Okay.
And then let's like why don't we just jump right into this and watch
Sure.
this, because this thing, it's wild.
Okay. I'm sold already. All right.
And just fair warning, it's a red band trailer, so you're gonna hear curse words and you're gonna see some not like nudity, but like disturbing type of event, like drug use and stuff.
Oh.
Like that, so. Just FYI.
Cool. Thank you so much for telling me. I'm just kidding. I know that
Yeah.
you're talking to the audience, but also me though. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Trigger warnings for Pagan. I know
Thank
you're,
you.
rehab's going well
Listen, thank you so much.
for you.
Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
All right, I'm gonna start trailing. 3, 2, 1, play.
You guys must be new to town, right?
New to town, but not new to the country. We just moved from California.
We just wondered if you wouldn't mind if your daughter played with our daughter.
Audrey, say hi.
You wanna play slide?
Oh, that's so cute.
Slides off limits to ching-chongs.
Oh,
Shit.
Yes.
Yes.
You wanna be
Get him.
Boom.
Look at me, look at me, look at me now. Guess who's going back to the motherland?
It's a big deal, going to your birth
We
country.
used to talk about it all the time when we were little, remember? Grand adventure to find your birth mother. So
I love this.
My translator in Beijing. Audrey, I got you. 你这个句吧，这个大句小句随便你。
Cat lives there now.
Your famous college roommate.
You ready to lose to a celebrity?
Deadeye's coming, by the way.
Deadeye, your cousin?
Hey, Audrey.
Hey.
Deadeye!
Where did that come from? You know, I think I get it.
I called the adoption agency, and she lives in Haiching.
Okay, will you guys come with me?
Fuck yes, bitch!
I love a grand adventure. So nice to see an American. What do you do for work?
If the cops are doing a bag check.
Oh my god, you're a drug dealer! You're drug dealers now, bitches! Look at it! Fuck! Isn't it condom? You can't get caught with drugs in China, we'll get jailed for life! Crazy, you gotta go crazy!
That's so true.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
China. People are always thinking that I have this perfect life. I don't belong anywhere.
If you do not know where you come from, how do you know who you are?
Oh my God.
We could still find her. Our passports are in my suitcase that got stolen.
You know who can bypass airport security? K-pop stars. Everyone remember their names?
Sassy.
Cutie.
Lisa.
Lisa, 2.
I don't believe these girls are singers.
Show them.
What are we supposed to show?
You're a fan of Cardi B, right?
Yeah. Is she
No,
here?
stop.
There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this.
Honey, you good? Did you get the Coke bags out? Yeah,
I'm
but
so
only 7,
into
and I
this.
think I put in 8.
Just push, pull. I mean, twist it.
It's not a puppet, it's my asshole!
Oh, please yes.
Bop it, it's my asshole.
Please yes.
Genius.
Great. Oh wow.
This
Wow.
is like the Bridesmaids comedy level. For
Yes.
For like 2023. That is, oh my God. I'm probably gonna watch that a million times.
I
This is-
Yeah, I love this. Wow, I can't wait to see this. And can we talk about
Wow.
like a POC women-led film? Like, please,
Yes.
thank fuck,
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah.
And it's funny, and it's like, it looks like a wild ride. Like, it looks really well written. I really like the way that it's shot. The cuts in this, like
Yeah.
the trailer itself, makes everything look really funny and engaging. I'm down for this. I love this. I'm all about it. Quick review. Thank
It
you.
looks. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. It looks. It's everything. It's sort of like one of those trailers where like, oh, cool. No, it's kind of one of those like heartfelt like, two girls meet, and like, it's gonna make fun of like white, like adopted
Sure.
white people owning, and then it just goes into this crazy like Hangover like style like drugs and just like a wild adventure. People, losing their minds. I mean, it was, and I love the way this is edited because there's like a weird moment where it feels like it's gonna go get like all heartfelt. And he's like, if you don't know where you're from, like how do you know who you are? And the music even changes there for a moment. And you're like, oh, okay, well this is where it kind of turns into the like soapy like sells everybody on like the heartfelt. No, it just goes then straight into more hard cuts of like like she's using that exercise machine, that guy's like taking off his shirt, they're doing I'm like, oh my god, yes, like it just knows what, like this trailer just knows what I want more of, right? I mean, it's bonkers. This is a well-made trailer. I think we're all kind of like into it. I mean, I just want to talk real quick, like, it does still, it sounds like, we get a real quick glimpse of like, this is like a story. There's this girl who wants to kind of find her real parents, a real mom, I think, out there. And it's all kind of like going to be juxtaposed in between like all this like crazy hijinks, right? Like how important is that moment, like in these types of films, like The Hangover or like Bridesmaids, which I feel like are kind of similar films to this, to kind of like make those heartstrings work as a plot point versus like the comedy? Like, do you guys have like a ratio that you want, or is there something here? Because the trailer did not, seem to kind of go into the heartfelt too much.
Yeah, it doesn't settle on any of those moments for sure. Well, for me, I actually think that's kind of great. I like that there's obviously an underlying story that's driving the whole thing, which I think for these kind of films is definitely necessary. Like for Bridesmaids, it's like the relationship between two best friends and how it's changed over the years and how it's trying to get back to where it was. And I really like that. I like this heartfelt story. I'm so anxious to see what's going to happen for this heartfelt story. Like, I feel like, is she gonna get there and she's gonna be disappointed? Is she gonna get there and have a hard time? Like, I'm actually really interested in that plot line. But the journey there looks hilarious.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for it. Yeah, but I do think that kind of comedy is only good with underpinning tones of like seriousness, or if like there's a real story underneath. Otherwise, it kind of just feels very like flat comedy, which would work for things like South Park or something when they're 20-minute episodes, but not in a film that's going to be marketed for like cinema release or anything like that,
Yeah, like it's kind of like, because you said this was directed by the same person or created by the same people who did The Neighbors, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that one too, like comedy wise, like you have like a family, they've moved into a nice neighborhood, not knowing that there's a frat house
next door.
And they're wanting to start a family, like, and maybe they're getting ready to, I forget now where they are, but like I think I agree with Pagan. Like, I think those kind of storylines help give it a little more depth, and it kind of gives you pinpoints to kind of like, oh, I can relate to that, or oh, I've been there, or oh, I've seen that in a book, or another movie, another TV show.
Yeah.
Because like one of my favorite books that I read like growing up was The Joy Luck Club, and that's like a story, it's like all around woman, and it's Asian women who have come to San Francisco, and they've created this mahjong club, but then you've got one daughter and her mother has passed away, and now she's discovered she has sisters, so she's trying to find her sisters, and that's like her story. So it's like, I love those kind of stories too, because you want to see, it's like Parent Trap. You want to see the parents and the kids reunite and have everyone get together. You want those moments. And so, yeah, like depending on how this ends, if she finds her, if she's alive still, or maybe she's in America, like who knows? Yeah. Like it's like all these different things that could happen. And I love that. And the comedy, I mean, just the whole train scene, like that. Oh, man. And the fact that the daughter is, in filming movies, and she's an actress, so she's living this life, and like it's just colorful.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this I love this so much.
Yeah, the train, when she like blows all that blow all over everyone. You're all drug dealers now, bitches. That would totally be me. It's like, yeah, we have to eat this shit. I'm not going to China jail. Like, I am not. Like, it's on, like, like, it's so funny that they like lean into it, like they're willing to kind of, I quote unquote, make fun of their own culture in a way, right? In that sense.
It's kind of like We're the Millers, and they've got all this coke like just lining the walls of the RV, and then like one falls out, and she's like, "Oh crap, what do I do?" And
Yeah.
she takes it, and she wraps it up in a blanket, and she's like, "Oh, we've got a baby."
A
But then
baby.
it's
Yeah,
like,
that's right. Oh my god, yeah.
I forgot about that.
That's a great
you
film.
know, like, and that scene when she did blow like the cocaine all over their faces, I was like, that reminds me of something, but I can't quite figure out. Like, I feel like I've seen something similar in a movie. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen a certain scenario. Like,
That's true. It does seem. There is
reminds me of something,
another.
like-
There's something out there that's similar. I can't
Really?
remember what it is.
I don't think I'm not drawing any of those connotations, but this is like, that whole sequence looks fun. But can you imagine, like the panic that hits their face as soon as she like spreads cocaine all over them, like the panic that's like, shit, like now we're in it, like just fucking stuff it everywhere,
alive?
eat it if you have to, like yeah. Oh
Yeah.
god,
how are they alive? How
that's
is-
very
like-
funny.
That's great. God, yeah, dude. When you mentioned that, like, there is something out there that's similar where it's like we gotta eat it. I can't remember.
I know.
That's gonna bother me now because there's another scene, another movie or TV show or something that did something similar. But
If anybody in the chat
Cocaine
knows what
Bear,
we're
I'm just
talking
kidding, I don't
about, please. Yes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
I like the callback after the title card callback where she's like I know I put 7 up there, or 8 up there, only found 7. You know.
Yeah. It's
not
not
a
a Buffett, it's my asshole. Yeah, it's great. Fucking
Yeah.
quotable movie. I think this is gonna be a
Quote- yeah.
quotable movie.
Yeah.
I'm so up for
also,
this. This looks funny.
Side note: it's Jonathan Bo's birthday today, so happy
Hey, happy birthday in chat.
Birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday. I
Oh,
actually
and
love
it's
the
your 16th birthday.
It's a 16th birthday.
Oh, big 16.
Wow.
I like in the trailer though that they're like this, like they go into the airport with the K-pop reference. That is
Yeah.
funny AF. That is just fucking hilarious. I love that
I mean,
sequence. And they started singing
it-
Cardi B. Stop.
How did they get
So
all their
good.
fans and the hype man? Like, I'm.
Well, you
just
see, I
curious.
think
Like,
it's.
is
I
he
think
another
they're
actor?
No, I think they're extras. Like that's what I'm putting together in my head. Is the girl who's like in the movie industry? She's probably just hired a whole bunch of extras. Is
Like,
this
how
is
did
what
they
I'm
get those
assuming?
Awesome costumes, like in the
Yeah.
wigs and like.
Oh, I know.
Love that.
And what was the
funny.
joke? I'm Lindsay too or whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
Lisa too. It was like I'm
Lisa
Lisa
too.
and Lisa too, which I think is really funny.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, Pagan, out of anybody here, you're our residential
Resident K-pop
K-pop
fan.
yeah, K-pop expert. I mean, how does that all fit? Does it
Bro,
all
I saw
resonate?
an I love BTS or an I Heart BTS T-shirt in like 0.3 of a second of a frame, and I was like, I'm in, I'm sold. Just sign me up.
shit?
I'm out. Yeah, it's in there. I just
Oh.
can't find it, but it is in there, and it's like 0.2 seconds of a frame, and I saw it, and I was
Nice.
like, this is me. I'm hooked. I want everything about this. But it's great. It's pretty funny. I think this is like a really nice, lighthearted. There it is. Oh my god, I found it. I'll show you. Ta-da! Some guy is rolling around on the floor, maybe in pain. He looks like he's in pain, but he has I Heart
oh.
BTS on his T-shirt, and I was like, oh damn, he's an army. Nice. Like, cool.
He's an army.
Yeah, that's what the fandoms
Is that what they call them?
Yeah,
That's what
fandoms
they-
are called
the
army.
fandoms call
Yeah,
them.
Yeah.
for BTS. They all have their own names. Maybe one day I'll get you to react to some K-pop here, and then
I
I'll
know.
teach
Yeah.
you all.
I'm gonna be like, I don't get it.
Oh, I'll show you stuff you do get, Drew, and then
That's
you'll be
probably
hooked.
true.
Yes.
That's how they hook you.
I like they're like, we know Cardi B, is she here? You know, like
Yeah.
question.
And they start singing like even from the opening sequence, like there's
Yes.
a horse in this house. I'm like, why would you sing from there? You know what? Go for it.
She
If
did.
that's
I
what's gonna
know.
get you into the vibe, go for it.
Yes. Oh my
Wars
gosh.
in this.
This cast though.
Uh,
This
It's good.
cast is great.
Yes, the cast looks fantastic.
And
It-
I
it's-
loved Everything Everywhere All at Once and like the craziness of that. And I love Stephanie in
Yeah.
that. So I'm excited to see her in another thing that I feel like is gonna bring just as much like punch, like and she's great.
Yeah, I think it's refreshing to see like Academy Award nominated actress, and then like the next film we see her in is just a raunchy comedy.
Love that.
I don't know if that was like planned. She probably was just like this was probably filmed before she even got the nomination or thought it was even going to be a thing. But man, I just think it's great that you don't have to be an Academy Award winner and just continue to do like awards films or like highbrow film. You can make comedy, and I think we need more comedy right now.
I
So,
think like I would totally agree, but I also think that like it depends on the script, and this looks like a really good script. Like I actually
Sure.
think this looks so good. It's kind of the same with like Jennifer Lawrence, right? Like she did like Silver Linings Playbook, and then she's done now she's coming in with that film that we reacted to last week. So I'm kind of like, you see, like there, and she's a winner. She's an Academy Award winner. So yeah, I think it just does depend on the script and depends on the actor and how they react to that script. But this in particular looks just really well written, and I think it looks quotable. It doesn't look stupid, and honestly, sometimes with like some of the humor from those kind of films, I'm just like, I don't really find that funny. I think that's different types of, like, I think culturally there's a gap there, and maybe that's just very funny in America. Maybe it's not coming across the pond, but this looks funny for both. I think this looks very, very, very well written.
Yeah. One other question, or sub tangent. I mean, do you think like this sort of humor do you think it sort of fits like one target category, right? It's sort of like you're like 25 to 40 maybe, right? Like I feel like it's very maybe younger, I don't know, but this like seems a little bit too over R for anybody 18 and under 18. But I just wonder, like, is like from a box office standpoint, do you think maybe this goes back to my prediction, like, do you guys think this is a box office, success, or you think this is going to be a flop? I mean, just understanding like comedy doesn't typically do well anymore in theaters, and it's hard to kind of quantify that. And then B, like, are raunchy, like these sort of like, vagina jokes and sexual innuendos and drugs and and all that shit, like, is there an audience for that stuff now, like, still?
Stephanie, yes. Excuse me. Yes, there is.
It's a go.
I think so, because I feel like girls' humor, like, sometimes it's aimed towards certain things. It's kind of like the same thing, like stereotypes. Like there's stereotypes for guys' humor, there's stereotype for girls' humor, there's stereotype for, in general, for people and humor. And I love it because it's digging into, it's kind of like what Bridesmaids did. It's digging into an area that they don't really go to, or they don't talk about certain things. And as far as like box office goes, I would love for this to be a hit. I know with movie theaters right now, like, it's a hit or miss. So I don't know too if this is gonna be like on streaming platforms, after a few months after it releases. Like, I'm just curious, but I feel like a lot of people are gonna come out, and especially young women. Or this, I think this will be a good girls trip movie to the theaters. For sure.
You're making all the points that I was about to say, Steph. Like, I'm glad you spoke first, because those are the exact same points that I was going to make, is that I think that there is an audience for this, but particularly for women-led comedies. And I think, like, we get so few of them, and then when they get them right, they really get them right. Like Bridesmaids. We're still talking about Bridesmaids, and how long ago did that come out, I think, so I definitely think there is an audience for this. I would go to see this in the cinema, and I would bring all my friends, and I would bring my husband or like his friends. But it's likely that like we're all going to invite, like, hey, bring your wife or bring your girlfriend, because these kind of films, we don't see them all that often. And I'm super happy to see these women take on like the helm of this genre. So I'm very excited to see this.
No, you bring up a really good point. There seems to be farther and few between movies where you're sort of like, you want to, I say this, it's a weird thing to say, but like bring your friends with and like have that shared experience, because not everybody's in the Marvel like cinematic universe. Everybody, a lot of my friends, like if they're not like super nerds, they're kind of like, man, I fell off that train after Avengers, dude. Like, I'm not following, I'll watch it on streaming, like they're not continuing that journey. Same thing, unless it's like maybe a John Wick film, but then that's so, like, if you're an action guru, you're not going to bring your wife to John Wick unless, and she's my wife, she loves that shit.
Yeah, unless it's me.
A lot of but not a lot of wives are into like, the bloody action shoot 'em ups, I think this kind of fits that category. It's like, let's have a date night, let's all go out and watch a funny comedy that I think will appeal to everyone. And I think this might hit a really interesting sweet spot that's kind of been missing, I think, from movie going, because it's been a while since I felt like, oh yeah, let's invite those people, or like, because it feels like movies have been right now in a singular kind of journey, like me and my wife will go, or I'll watch something at home or whatever. But yeah, that
Yeah,
could
and
be
it's more
interesting.
like a topic. It's more of a talking point when you go out to meet somebody and you're like, hey, did you
Yeah.
catch this or did you watch that on whatever it is?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this feels like a, hey, let's all go to the cinema, or like we'll grab a few drinks after and we'll talk about this, or
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Feels like more of a
Yeah.
communal experience.
All right. Well, cool. No, this looks like a lot of fun. I'm super stoked. It doesn't have a release date. It did premiere in South by Southwest last weekend.
Okay.
I haven't read any reviews on it yet. I don't know if it's under embargo, but there's a lot of press from South by Southwest, and so I would imagine release is probably going to be in the next month or so, just based on it's usually when something premieres at South by, it comes out relatively soon.
Cool.
Well, hopefully we'll see this soon.
Yes.
And
Yes.
on that note, we're going to take a quick break for our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Cool.
And we're back.
Wow, it was so
That's live.
quick.
That's live for you folks. That's how quick we come back when we're live. And
Love that.
But by the way, check us out if you're listening and you're watching us live stream this, and you're like, you know what, I'd love to like take this on the road with me, listen to it in the car. You can. This is a podcast. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts: iTunes, Spotify, TuneFM, Pocket Cast, you name it. Google. We're on all of it. So go check us out there. And if you would be nice, leave us a review. Give us a little nice rating if you like what we're doing, and because that helps people find us. That are like you and like us, that kind of want to nerd out on trailers. So go do that. Our next trailer is Mrs. Davis. I called an audible. I put this in here last minute. This came out. This also premiered. The first two episodes of this premiered at South by Southwest, and the trailer just dropped, I think yesterday or the day before. And it's getting some pretty interesting reviews online that this is like going to be pretty epic. It's from the mind of I'll just give you the quick setup. It's a nun goes to battle against an all-powerful artificial intelligence known as Mrs. Davis, written by Tara Hernandez from The Big Bang Theory and Damon Lindelof of Watchmen, Leftovers, The Leftovers, and Lost. So this has like two incredible writers, Big Bang Theory Tara from a comedy perspective, and Damon Lindelof of like just he's like the king of prestige TV. I mean, The Watchmen was considered one of the best shows ever. The Leftovers is an incredible show if you haven't watched that, and Lost obviously just changed television zeitgeist.
Sure.
So the pedigree here is kind of incredible. So why don't we watch this? Do you guys have any like early thoughts just based on that quick little synopsis I gave? I mean, have you seen this yet?
Thoughts.
I've seen it, so I will hold off on my thoughts.
Okay.
I've not seen it. But so you said that there's two episodes released already?
Just premiered at South by Southwest.
premiered
so
at, okay.
Just for people who are at the show.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's going to
So-
be an interesting religion versus AI type battle, and that I am so interested in.
Yeah, confidence.
All right. Let me go into watching. Yes. Okay, great. Okay, playing in 3, 2, 1, play.
Is it okay if I proxy? Sorry, she'll speak to me through here, and then I'll just repeat whatever she says. Not she. It.
Okay, sassy nun.
Is a machine.
Alrighty.
She wants to talk. Talk to you.
If I say no, it's just gonna send someone else, isn't it?
I like that sound.
You are the only person on the planet who can fulfill this quest. You must locate the Holy Grail. The what now?
Mrs. Davis is all-knowing
I'm a little
and
lost.
all-powerful. She not only knows you're coming for her,
Powerful. She's in her ear pods.
but she wants you to.
Why?
Then I better get going.
All right, Miss Indiana Josh.
A lot's changed since I last saw you. Meet the resistance.
What are you resisting?
Same thing you are. The algorithm.
Mrs. Davis?
Don't give it a 9!
Okay.
Oh,
one calls Facebook dog.
fair.
I mean, I'll
This is
call
what it does.
Facebook that.
Everyone you meet is only trying to push you into doing what it wants. It's just a matter of time before everything.
What is going on in this trailer?
I have no idea what's happening.
It's awesome.
You've got.
A weapon.
Hey,
Oh,
What?
I love her.
Let's party.
Oh, I love her.
What? She's got a
Hi, I'm
battle axe?
looking
What
for
was
the
that?
Grail. The holy one.
Okay.
The holy one. Just to specify. In case there's any confusion.
The Living on the Prayer song.
Yeah. The Living on the Prayer soundtrack throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genius.
Genius. Wow. Okay, guys. AI nuns versus AI. What do you got, and what do you think?
Okay, when you said it at the beginning, I was like, AI all the way, bitches, let's go. Because at least AI is logical, man.
Yeah.
But then I'm watching this and I'm like, she's kind of badass. She's kind of badass. And maybe the AI they're talking about isn't actually like the AI that I was thinking of. Like, it's not like an all-intelligent being that's like, although maybe it is. I don't know. It's kind of weird that
yeah.
we're all
Probably
hooked in
is.
with like AirPods and stuff.
Right.
And the algorithm is telling you stuff. But then, like, I don't know anything about this AI. Maybe Mrs. Davis is cool.
Yeah.
Don't give it a name.
Nobody calls Facebook Doug. That's a great line. That's a great line. Yeah, this is an interesting one. Like, I went into this trailer being so gung ho, be like, "Come on, AI," and then she's like fucking riding bicycles and shit, and or
It's like a
motorbikes
badass
and
nun. Yeah.
yeah, and she just looks like a badass. And I was like, "Shit, actually, she kind of looks cool." And then there's some like good smattering of comedy in there as well. There's a really cool moment where she like flicks her like habit. I think that was really cool, like almost like a cape. I thought that was great. But ultimately, yeah, that subverted my expectations.
Is she really a nun, or is she just undercover as a nun? Because I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, did she used to work for an agency? Was she doing something? She obviously was teamed up with this other guy, or knew him, and so now I'm like, I have no idea what's happening. And then the Holy Grail. Why? Like, what is going on?
My question on that is like, why would she question that when they were like, "Hey, you need to go find the Holy Grail," and she was like, "The what now?" I'm like, "Bitch, ain't you religious?
Yeah,
Well,
like,
I mean,
Don't
yeah.
you know?"
like it's real. Like it's like Indiana Jones.
If
slash
Hitler knew
the
what the Holy
Right.
Grail was, surely you do.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
drank from the cup.
Crazy. I don't know. Seems weird. What's Peacock?
It's NBC's streaming platform.
Yeah.
So it's kind
No
of like
fucking
their
clue what
hub.
that was. Oh,
No,
okay.
yeah. I was that. I mean, let's just go there real quick. I mean, do the words "coming soon" on Peacock like get you more or less excited about? I mean, because here's the deal. Like you hear Damon Lindelof, and you hear Watchmen and Leftovers Lost. Those were like the Watchmen and Leftovers were like prestige, like HBO, like Last of Us style, like television, like I mean, and Lost obviously was I forget, was that Fox or it might have been ABC actually back in the day. But I mean, this definitely feels more the way it's shot, the way it's blending satire with like real sort of real world commentary. You know what I'm saying? Like in the sense of like clearly Mrs. Davis is sort of like Alexa or Siri, and and imagine if Siri or ChatGPT took over Alexa and became sentient in a sense of like they're now telling us like who we should marry or what we should eat today, or what I'm saying, and like and then now there's two sides of the coin. You have people that are like, well, fuck that, like who are you to tell me what to do, and there's other people that are probably like, oh no, this is helpful for me because it's making choices that I don't make good choices.
Listen, okay. I mean, I'm a fan of like being all like, no way, algorithm, you ain't gonna tell me. But tell me that you haven't been scrolling Instagram or Twitter or Facebook and they throw you up an ad or a post that you're like, damn, that is so me. I need that in my life. and then you buy it, and it's fucking dope. We found like a hair remover, like a pet hair remover from like couches and furniture and stuff, and I was like, that
like
I need
the
that.
roller.
It's
that
like
giant roller.
It kind of is, but it's a different one. So it basically has like almost like a Velcro on one side, and you like mush it this way and that way, and then it collects in the back of it. You empty it, and then you could just go again. Amazing, life-changing shit. But that came up on an Instagram ad, and we were like, we need that, and then we bought it, and it was suited. So in this world, if the algorithm's like, hey, you know what you need to try? That vanilla matcha latte that they've just come out with in Starbucks, and I'd be like, you know what, algorithm? You're right. You're right. Maybe I would fucking love that. So maybe Mrs. Davis ain't all that bad. Is just what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Pagan's like, give me the mirror pods. I'm in.
I suck though, Drew. Like a door salesman could come in and I'll be like, guys, I don't want anything you're selling. Stop talking to me. And they're like, all right, we're just gonna ask you a few questions. And then 3 minutes later, I'm like, hey, baby, you want to sign up for this thing? Because fuck, they were really selling it here, and I think they got a good product. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we definitely need this vacuum. I mean, it's got a TV on it. I mean,
I have too many. I also have 5 others, but fuck it. Well, like, let's get this one. Yeah, I'm the most gullible, most sellable person. Like, I can't be trusted with this kind of stuff. So maybe Mrs. Davis, in the world of Mrs. Davis, I wouldn't be able to function properly. Like, I would just become part of that
function perfectly for her. She would definitely like be. Yeah. You'd be part of the flock. Mm-hmm. You know, you'd be the lady, be like, here, listen, you know, and you're like,
I would be those characters that are like, hey, she wants to talk to you. Could you just put this in for a minute? Yeah, that would be me.
Is this like the AI in Her, essentially, like, but there's like one AI and everybody's talking to her, you know, is she like they're having conversations? So. Oh boy. It did not go well for Joaquin Phoenix in that.
No,
or Scarlett Johansson.
Well, I mean, I think Scarlett Johansson came out on top on that one.
She did. She met someone, another AI.
But, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
I mean, there's a lot going on here, guys. I mean, like, there's the quest for the Holy Grail. You mentioned, like, they're definitely making the nut her to be some sort, like, she's definitely like owning, like, I'm the only one that can do this, or like, you know, like, there's lines like that, like, I'm in for it, or like, let's do this. And, you know, she's jumping on the motorcycle, like you said, she's got like the flip, she's got like some sort of like battle like baton that like extends like something out of like Star Wars. I mean, it's like this weird mixture of like every genre that you could ever think of is like thrown into a blender, and the only thing holding it together is like there's nuns and there's an AI. Like, but like for as long, but everything else is like fair game as far as like what this show is. Like I don't know if it's genius until I see it, or if it's just like a hot mess. Like I feel like this show could go either side of the coin. Like either they've tapped into some culturally interesting, hyper relevant hodgepodge of genres and themes and mash it together in this like hyper entertaining piece of content, or it's just this like steaming glob of doo-doo of a show because it's just so convoluted no one understands what the hell's happening. I have no idea. This trailer could go either way in my mind. It's kind of like when you watch Babylon, that trailer, you're like, this fucking trailer's so bonkers. What's happening in this trailer is so crazy. I don't even know if I'm going to enjoy this, but I have to watch just to see like, why is there a giant sword sticking out of the ground in front of like in the desert of a castle? You know
it looks
like
the round, like Arthur Round Table, kind of like the sword and stone thing.
Yeah, like
I think though, like I would be more fascinated by like her background. Like in the beginning, you guys see her like by the sink and shit, and there's like scars all over her body, like on her stomach, and then and she has the cross on her neck. Firstly, the cross on her neck is not like the Christ cross. No. These are different crosses. I don't know if you've noticed. These are different crosses. So I'm actually wondering, in this world, what kind of religion are they? Like, because even then when we were talking about like the fact that she didn't know what the Holy Grail was, I'm wondering what religion this actually is. Because although it looks to us like Christianity, what if it isn't? Because again, the cross is just, it's not the Christ cross, because the Christ cross is very specific, right? And these are all even sides. And when she comes out, like, you kind of see this shot where she like clips the top of her cross together. almost like, what is that? Is that like a USB? Is there cocaine inside? What's going on? Like, what's inside the little cross?
But there is a shot of the Christ cross. Like I'm just scrolling through, like before she
like
clips
a few
it.
different kinds.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Yes, sorry, on the wall, isn't there?
Yeah, on the wall. But yeah, you're right. The one she clips that looks like it might be like a USB or something.
True. Yeah, you're right. Actually, there is a Christ cross
Does
there.
look off. That looks more like an X. Yeah, it's a little off.
You see what I mean? Like she clips it together just there in the frame, and I'm like, what are you clipping in there? It just feels like a USB or something, you know?
It probably is.
Like a USB-C clip. And just
maybe it's like
know.
another AI that could battle against this AI, you know, or some.
In this world, like
it's
even the religion has an AI.
Right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't. That's actually an interesting idea.
It's just very fascinating, and then like you can kind of see all of her like scars and stuff while she's washing up, and I'm like, what happened to you? Although the same scars are actually seen later on the guy, so I think maybe this might have been part of like the rebellion. What if everybody has been fitted with something that is AI related, and then she's taking it out, and it's the same with the other guy. I think if I can find that shot, like he's shirtless later, and I'm like,
Yeah. Like everybody's been kind of augmented over time. Like
so he's right here. Unless they've had the same kind of surgery, so it's just here, this scar that looks like that. It goes down like the middle of his stomach and then to the left, and it's kind of very similar to where hers was in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think
it's this type of conversation and this type of discussion that makes me want to watch it more, just to understand what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
It's as a trailer, it's like it's kind of good, but it's kind of a hot mess. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. It's like they got the great music in there, and it's like it just doesn't know what it wants to be. Like the trailer, like are you selling me on action? Are you selling me on like comedy? Like it feels like there's a lot of like we're making fun of ourselves here moments or we're self-aware of what we're doing. You know, like just her lines, her dialogue. Like I'm the only one that could save this. You know, stop this thing. You know, like. It just feels like such a like 80s action movie line.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I feel like it's sort of like we're all in on the joke, you know, of that kind of idea. So, I don't know. I'm kind of, I don't know where I'm coming down on this, to be honest.
I don't know. I think for me as a trailer, it didn't really do it for me, and it didn't really sell it for me. Like you're saying, like it's such a hodgepodge of things. So like as an editor watching this, I'm like, okay, I was thinking like a comedy, like, you know, or like maybe dark comedy, like dark humor, like, or I don't know. Like I'm just trying to figure out what this is, and I'm watching this, and it makes no sense to me. And like I would have loved a trailer like that focuses more on her like backstory and less on the AI, and then bringing the AI. I don't know, like. To me, I'm hoping like the trailer's not a representation of what the show is, because then to me I'm like, this might just be a one season, folks, like kind of a show. Unfortunately, like they've got a great cast, and they've got like great costumes, like, you know, like it looks like they've put a lot of hard work into it, but like editing wise for the trailer, I'm like, what is this? Like, or maybe it does get multiple seasons and it's just like, you know, something you kind of watch. Like, I don't know. I am intrigued by her story. I'm intrigued as to who she is, and if she is really a nun. Like, I really want to know what her backstory is, because, you know, there's another nun, and she's got the extendable nunchucks. Like, so
are those nunchucks? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like nunchucks.
An undercover, like,
are they?
Yeah, it did.
Like, agency, like.
But here's the question, though, Stephanie: would you watch
down.
it to find out the story, or would you just wait until it comes out and Google it later?
Probably Google it later. Like,
yeah, I think I'm the same.
I have no real intrigue. Yeah.
It's also on Peacock, so
yeah.
Well, I'm effectively out.
Yes.
Meaning you don't get Peacock, so you can't watch it.
No, we don't have. What did you say was NBC?
NBC and like.
Yeah, no, we don't have any of that. So I would not be able to get that.
It might. So what usually happens if they want this to be more of a like global, like they'll probably sell it to Netflix for international.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
It'll probably be somewhere. I don't know how soon. Like if it'll follow like the same cadence as Peacock, like a weekly release on some other channel. So it might wait come out on Netflix overseas.
Yeah,
it just depends on how they want to sell it and how they want to release it. But that a lot of times like they have to they're waiting to sell it. So if there's no takers, they kind of like, so this happens all the time. Like Star Trek, for example, like Discovery, like, because Paramount Plus is only like US based. So they have to sell that show. They have to like hope that Netflix wants to take it and then put it in Australia, put it in the UK. You know what I'm saying? So they're sort of like, everybody's sort of waiting to kind of like, hopefully I can make some money here because you want this show as part of like to give people, you know. So it's kind of a give and take. Everybody's sort of like negotiating and hoping, and so it's not always the people releasing its fault, but it's sometimes some people are just greedy. We kind of have to wrap it up. We're running a little behind, and I want to go straight into what we reco. If we have anything you're recommending or watching right now, does anybody want to start? You guys have any?
I'll go. I've been rewatching True Blood. Because they've been playing it on TNT, and I'm like, oh my god, like.
Isn't Todd in
it's
that?
It's not just on.
Is he?
I feel like he's in something.
Dude, he would have been
perfect
for True Blood.
That's what he was in.
The original, yeah.
I'll look it up. He's in something vampiric.
Yeah,
that's a vampire. That's a vampire show, right?
It's the Vampire Diaries. Yeah.
Oh, it's the Vampire Diaries. Apologies, sorry, Todd.
Yeah.
He'll never watch this. He'll never watch this. It's fine. He'll never know.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. He was in the Vampire
Oh,
Diaries.
you're good. But that one, it's such a great show, and I love how it balances like dealing with like social issues, religion, just so many different things, and the color, like the fact that it's shot on film, and the character building. It's so good.
That's wild.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so
I've never
seen it.
Watch it.
It's a great watch. It's kind of it falls very romance novel-y. It's based on
it's based
a
on
romance,
a book series.
A romance, but it leans into the campiness of what romance, like it sort of knows like why you're watching, so it gives you that, right? Like it gives you the steaminess and like but it also like leans into the kind of like the joke of what like the supernatural joke of what vampires can and can't do, right? Like it's a very, it's not meant to be a comedy, but there's really funny moments that happen because they just know when to kind of hit them, and the characters on the show are just so likable and interesting. Like, who's the gay guy? The black.
Oh my God. Lafayette.
God, that guy just owned it anytime he was on screen.
So great.
There's a lot of like really cool actors and characters on that show that
There's
just
an actress
made it.
who was in The Last of Us, and I'm blanking on her name right now. But she was in this as well, and she played the lovely Tara.
Who was she in The Last of Us?
I haven't gotten to this point yet, but it was Joel's brother's girlfriend.
Wife? Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Maria.
Maria, yes.
No worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. I just started watching Ted Lasso. The first episode came out last week. It's a really great.
Oh, shit.
Listen, I think Ted Lasso is just like the happiest little pill that you could take when you're just like, I don't know what I'm in the mood to watch. Just watch Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
I will say though, the first episode felt kind of weird, like the almost the writing or something like that felt really strange, kind of awkward, didn't really fit, and I was like, I don't know if I like
that's interesting.
what's happened. Did they change writers? Did they do anything? But towards the end of the episode though, I was like, nah, they recovered. Like, this is good, and it's just a settling in thing, maybe growing pains. But yeah, that's what I would recommend. If you haven't seen it, definitely go watch it.
Yeah, I agree. It's weird how like how it wears goodness so on its sleeve, like so like up forward. Like it's almost like it's sort of like, to your point, it's like, take this pill, you're gonna feel good after watching. Like,
right.
It's so weird how like you just feel like, oh, I felt like I got a lesson today on like how to be a better person.
Yeah, totally.
You know, and it's okay. You don't feel like it got served to you in like a preachy way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's they're really smart about how they do that. And I don't know why it took 3 seasons for me to like figure that out. But
no, I'm the same. I hadn't watched that in ages because I understood the premise of like an American football coach coming over to teach English soccer teams, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna watch that. It was actually Dan when we were doing the Replayer podcast. He was like, you need to watch Ted Lasso. You would really like it. And I'm like, nah. And then I think like in the middle of season 2, I was like, oh, this is so good. And all I got from friends who had been telling me for ages was just like, I told you so.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. If you're in any way like, I don't want to watch Ted Lasso, I'm not sure it's worth the hype, just do it. Just do it.
Well, and it's interesting that you're watching it because I guess it doesn't do well. It does really well in America, but it doesn't do well over in the UK.
Really?
Well, because people are just like, why the fuck would I want to watch an American show about soccer
English football.
Or football? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, and it's sort of like us making fun of. There's a lot of like obviously jokes about like how the English and versus like you have this sort of like almost like characterization of what an American is. You know, Ted Lasso is sort of like the quintessential Midwestern American. You know, he doesn't really like. He's not really like from New York or LA. Like he's very like Midwest, you know, very I don't know. Like if you're to write a character like with broad strokes of Ted Lasso or America, it'd be Ted Lasso, you know, sort of the joke, right? That's
I don't know. He's pretty likable, so.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, and that's the.
And very real.
That's true, and most Americans aren't likable. I see what you're doing. There we go. I see what you're doing.
It's okay. It took you a second.
No, I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
That's a great show.
Punch you in the face. No.
You had your chance.
You had your chance.
Now come get me, sucker.
Just real quick, my last thing I'm going to reco, I'm not going to talk long about it because I know everybody else is fucking watching it, but The Mandalorian season 3, that last episode, they kind of took a left turn, and it kind of felt like almost like a one-off episode where it starts with The Mandalorian and ends with The Mandalorian, but the middle of it is sort of like an episode of Andor. And if y'all ever watch this show and want it, and y'all know my thoughts about Andor, it's like the best thing that Star Wars has done since like Empire almost. Like it's so good. So the fact that they're kind of bringing that kind of storytelling into The Mandalorian, like I'm here for. So if you've sort of like given up on The Mandalorian because you think it's too much like Boba Fett or Obi-Wan and it kind of like, you're not really into it, maybe it might be, the storytelling might be getting a little bit better. I'm just throwing it out there. If you left that camp, and I'd say try to come back and check it out. There's some interesting nuances being told where Mandalorian felt more like big brush strokes, like action. I'm playing with my action figure stuff. There's a lot more nuanced storytelling happening right now, at least in episode 2. So go check that out and come tell me what you think. And that'll do it for today, everybody. Thanks for joining us on Trailer Talk. We'll be back next Tuesday, hopefully, if I can stay healthy and my kid can stay healthy and everybody's healthy. And PJ will be back. I know you missed his grumpy ass and all his saltiness, so he'll be back next week, hopefully.
True.
He's traveling today, but you can watch us find us anywhere where you listen to podcasts, or we're always here on YouTube, and we come over to CouchSoup.com. That's where our community lives, and that's where we put out articles every day about things like The Mandalorian, like what we're talking about now, like trailers and movies and video games and all the fun stuff. Anything pop culture is happening over there on CouchSoup.com. We also have a way for you to support us and the show and our writers and our contributors. So if you want to support and become part of the community, you can do that, and just check out our membership page.
Also, if you are supporting the channel on YouTube, just a caveat there, if you are also supporting the channel on YouTube, make sure you go over to CouchSoup.com and create yourself a membership profile, and we'll then link up so make sure that you get the benefits that you are supporting us for, if that makes sense, through Circle Community. And that's where we all hang out, and it's our nice little private community.
It's awesome. Yeah, no, we have a lot, dude, so many good people, people I call friends, and everybody, there's people who've met each other, and it's such a fun people who get together at cons now. So it's a growing fun little community. It's so come on over and hang out. I see a lot of you in the chat. Say hi, Maria, Dan, Ian, Creed's in there. So it's a lot of fun, guys. Brandy. So until next time, we'll see you next week. Yeah. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.